All right, the court now will call cause number 112504, State of Texas versus Terry Keith Dodson. Mr. Dodson is present, along with his attorney, Mr. Nolan LeBlanc. The state is present as well. We are conducting the hearing remotely using Zoom video conferencing. We are also streaming live on the court's YouTube channel. There's to be no recording of these proceedings. Mr. Dodson, if you'll just raise your right hand, I'll swear you in, sir. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Probably need you to move up a little bit, Mr. Dodson. I can barely hear you back there. Yeah, just try to speak up a little bit. Now, at this time, Mr. LeBlanc, does Mr. Dodson waive the arraignment and the reading of the information?
He does, Your Honor. He does, Your Honor.
I'm not having trouble hearing you, Mr.
He does, Your Honor.
There you go. Okay. All right. Now, at this time, Mr. Dodson, you have a right to a jury trial, but do you now wish to give up that right to have a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
To this misdemeanor charge of resisting search, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty to this charge because you are guilty and for no other reason?
Yes, sir.
And are you making that plea of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
Excuse me. I have now states exhibits 1 and 2. Does the state offer those at this time?
Yes, sir, we do, Your Honor.
No objections, Your Honor.
Thank you. The court will admit states exhibits 1 and 2. Those exhibits, Mr. Dodson, that's the paperwork that you went over earlier with Mr. LeBlanc. In that paperwork, did you understand the range of punishment that you faced?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand all of the rights that you were giving up?
Yes, sir.
And then did you understand everything in that paperwork after you had plenty of time to go over it with Mr. LeBlanc?
Yes, sir.
Based then, Mr. Dodson, upon your plea and the evidence, the court will find that the evidence is sufficient to find you guilty of this charge of resisting search, but the court will not make a finding of guilt. Instead, I will follow the plea agreement and place you on deferred adjudication probation for a term of 6 months. Now, along with that is a fine of $200, court costs are $320, and there are probation fees of $60 per month. Along with that are 90 hours of community service and some other conditions of probation. Before I get to that, though, Mr. Dodson, this is a plea bargain case that I did go along with. Yes, sir.
I want to interrupt. That does not say 90, that says 40
Oh, 40 hours.
on the community service hour.
Okay. Sure looked like a 90 to me, and I will change that to a 40. Thank you.
That's a 40.
I'm glad I said something. They probably would have thought it was a 40 at probation too. All right, I'd change that.
Judge, I mean,
A little more like a 4. All right.
it's 90.
No, 40.
That's
It
what I
looked like a
thought.
9 to me.
Okay.
That's why I said 90. I just changed it to make it a little more legible. And there's no doubt now that it's a 40. Okay, thank you, Mr. Humbles. All right, now, as I was about to say, this is a plea bargain case that I did go along with, Mr. Dodson. So that means you have no right to appeal in this case. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Now, back to the probation. Have you had a chance to go over these conditions with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Any questions about any of those?
No, sir, at all.
All right, the way it all works, Mr. Dodson, is that you're on probation for 6 months. If you make the probation in this case, after 6 months' time, you make it successfully after 6 months' time, not only will you be finished with the probation in this case, but you'll walk away without this being a conviction on your record for resisting search.
Yes, sir.
Understand that's a great opportunity that you have.
Yes, sir. I
The
appreciate it.
downside, though, is if the state were to prove that you violated any of these conditions, then not only can you be found guilty of this charge, but you could face up to 1 year confinement in the Orange County Jail. I understand there might be another probation coming up very soon. And so if you messed up this probation, you'd probably also mess up the other probation. and you'd be looking at a whole lot of hurt there. You understand how that all works, Mr. Dodson?
Yes, sir.
And Judge, to speak to that issue with Terry, he's a very good client. And I understand that Scott Goodman called about this because he is a bit tardy. He was actually at probation doing his pre-sentence investigation interview at 8 o'clock over there. And so that explains why he was there. And Judge, if you don't make that interview over there, they document that. They have to reschedule it, and they darn sure document it. That would have been a black mark on him for sure.
No, I've been there before when Judge Powell found out that the people wanting probation didn't go for their PSI interview, and it's not pretty. So when we found that out, Mr. Dodson, I think our reaction was, that's a good excuse. You know, so you were where you were supposed to be, and you got over here quick enough. So no problem
Thank
there.
you, Judge.
All right. Well, as soon as you're done then with Mr. LeBlanc, I guess you'll need to go back to the probation department, Mr. Dodson. They'll go over these conditions with you, set up your reporting, and you'll get a copy of this probation order.
He also has a copy of his trial certification.
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, you also have a chance to get a non-disclosure in this case, Mr. Dodson, and that would keep the fact that you ever were on probation, in this case, off a public record, off the internet. It wouldn't hurt you if you were trying to get a job, say, a few years from now. All right. Best of luck to you, Mr. Dodson.
Thank you very much.
And good luck in your other case as well, sir.
Will do.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. That's it then. We will be in recess for the day.
Thank you.
All right. Got a big wedding over here, so getting ready for that. Thank y'all now.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll see everybody tomorrow if we're not underwater.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank y'all.
Thanks, Judge.